Nick, we're in the middle now of what they call spooky season, right?
Are.
October. I, as I've told you off air, and as I've told many people in my life, I hate this time of year, but I also love this time of year because I think I revealed this in the sister episode, but I don't like being scared. I don't
Mhm.
like watching horror movies. I don't like going to haunted houses. I like barely even like surprises. So
Mm.
this time of year definitely gets me a little on edge, but it's my understanding that you love this time of year. Is that correct?
I do. Honestly, I like October, November, December. I am a very big holiday season person. Um, my intro is I went to Screamfest last night with my friend Tom, who you know, but I say my friend Tom because we've talked about him on the podcast before, but listeners might not remember, maybe didn't listen to those episodes, but we had a great time.
Can you
Um,
let our listeners know what Screamfest is?
Yes, of course. So Canopy Lake Park is an amusement park in New Hampshire, and they put on it's open year round. It's really fun, and I recommend it for people that don't love big rides because there aren't a ton of massive rides on there, and I don't like big rides. But in October they host Screamfest, which is basically they decorate the park, make it look haunted. They have different haunted houses you can go to, but you can also just go on the regular ride. So if you're not like into scary things, you can still go during that time. I was kind of surprised that it's really only certain parts of there's two haunted houses. Those are the scary parts. The rest is just the regular park. But it was so fun. My friend Tom, I've talked about him it still seems weird to say my friend Tom to you because he's also your friend. But we've been through so much together and it was just real. We had an awesome time. For people that don't know, we went to the same high school. And we weren't each other's like closest friend in our friend group. We were in the same friend group, but we weren't like, you know how you always have like that one person that you're kind of the closest to. We weren't that. But then we ended up going to Loyola together, as you know. That's where we met you. Enter Justin. But we were roommates and just like it's just really cool. Do you have those friends where it's like you've been through so many different chapters of life with them and it's just like a really cool like it's honestly an
Yeah.
honor. Like
Yeah. You kind of
like
like have
last
grown
night,
together.
yes, that's exactly how we felt. And like we've both been through a lot. So like it was just really cool. Last night was just kind of like a celebration of that. We've also been talking about going to Canopy for like since high school and we've gone each other separately but not together. So that was really fun. And we like I said, we were roommates. So I know he likes to eat hot pockets in bed and he knows I like um but yeah, we had a good time. So Tom,
So
if you're
is
listening, what?
so is Screamfest? So I know that Universal Studios in California and Orlando both have Halloween Horror Nights around this time of year. And
Mhm.
basically, if you enter the park, I'm pretty sure it's like green light for anyone to jump out at you, scare at you at any part, whether you're walking from an attraction to another attraction or, maybe obviously big bathrooms are off limits, but
Mhm.
anytime you're in the park, I think it's fair game for them to jump out at you. Is Screamfest like that, or can they only jump out at you and stuff when you're in like a haunted house?
Wait, are you telling me that it wasn't allowed for whoever jumped out at me while I was at the urinal last night? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, they can. I think they
I
can.
don't think that person worked at the park. You might want to file some sort of report.
Wait, oh my god, I do have a funny story about that quickly. Tom and I were in line and I was facing him, and you know how they zigzag, right?
The
I
lines, the
felt someone
cues.
like brush my back,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, it was probably a mistake." And then I felt someone like caressing my back, and I was like, "Who is behind me?" Like I literally was like, "Tom, who's behind me? Someone is caressing me." It was like a 3-year-old kid that was being held by his parent. It was really cute, but like I thought I was like, "Who is touching me?" Like it's a good thing I didn't turn around and be like, "Hey, can you stop?" Like I make a kid cry.
I was gonna say if it was someone that worked for the park, how did you that like was doing the scary stuff? How did you not
No,
know that it was them? But
no, they're not allowed to touch you, and they stick around the Halloween areas, like the haunted houses. We went in one;
gotcha.
it was really cool. Um, but yeah,
I
I had a great time. And
I can't do those. Literally, it's funny. I've had two girlfriends in my life, right? And each no, that's not a brag thing. I'm saying that because at the beginning of both relationships, this is like one of the, I don't know if it wasn't the first date, it was one of the first things that I said was basically like, "Hi, I'm Justin. If you ever take me to a haunted house without my knowledge or drag me to it without it, I'm breaking up with you immediately." Like that like no holds barred. I hate that type of stuff. Like I will probably cower in fear and anxiety.
You hear that, ladies? If he doesn't like going to haunted houses, that's not your man. That's Justin Dew. Welcome to Point of Dew. I'm Nick.
And I'm Justin.
And today we have my friend Nick Staker on the podcast to talk about all things SpongeBob, Pixar, DC, Marvel, and miscellaneous. We'll end the show by doing a ranking of our top 10 Pixar movies. So stay till the end. And without further ado, Justin, let's talk about things from our
Point of Dew.
Oh, I said ado. Huh?
I just don't like those things. Like the only horror movie I've seen is It, but that was more of a comedy. Like the first
Yeah,
one.
it wasn't that scary to me.
It was
But
a comedy.
yeah.
And yeah. I just don't, well, I don't like, and I think I had a childhood traumatic experience because there was one time where I slept over my grandparents' house. It was myself and my siblings, and my two older cousins stopped by as well, and they brought us to this park near their house, Slater Park in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And they have a haunted house during this time of year. And we didn't know it was a haunted house. We just thought we were going to some like fun Halloween laser light show type of thing. And like, keep in mind, my sister is at the age where she's still in like a little stroller. My brother
Oh,
is then 2 years older than that, and then I'm 2 years older than my brother. And so maybe I was like, I don't know, 6. My sister was 2. My brother was 4, maybe older. I don't know. But we walked to where the haunted house was through the grounds, and then my grandfather goes in, and I am like, no, no, I realized what it was. I was like, no, 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 I'm not doing it. No, 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 no. I'm like trying to get into the stroller that my sister's sitting in, the tiny little stroller my sister's sitting in. I'm grabbing one leg of my grandmother, my brother's grabbing the other leg of my grandmother. And so then we didn't
our
go in.
grandmother.
We viewed from afar because it was an indoor haunted house. Then it came out to like an outdoor lawn area where that was like themed to a graveyard, and so there was people all over the graveyard at the end. So when you saw people come out of the haunted house, you could see them being scared by the people in the graveyard area. And so my two older cousins went over to the graveyard area to just kind of watch, like went over to the fence where the caution tape was.
Mm-hmm.
This was the border. And one of the performers scared them because that performer went under the caution tape and then like kind of ran at them, and so then they freaked out. And so then when they screamed, I screamed, then my brother screamed, and then my sister screamed and started crying because she was 2 years old or something like that, and then my grandmother started laughing. Then my two cousins came from being scared by the caution tape and then started walking towards us like zombies. So I started sprinting back the other way. Again, I'm
Oh
6 years
no,
old, sprinting back, being,
little
no,
Justin.
they took Alyssa and Courtney, no, and freaking out. And I honestly think I don't think I need therapy for it, but I think that's the reason why I don't do scary things, because of that experience. Just I hate that stuff. And now I'm kind of paranoid that there's like someone, I'm the only one in my
Someone
house
behind
right now,
you.
but there's someone gonna be like coming out of my closet or in the like coming into my
Well,
bedroom right now where I'm recording this. But anyway, I think that's where my That's another one for the trauma episode, I guess, or not, because I just told the
True.
story. But
Yes. So we're very different there. I love horror and you don't. But yeah, I had a great time. Thank you, Tom, for accidentally spitting on me hundreds of feet in the air. I hated it. How are you, Justin? Before we introduce our next guest, or our guest, we only have one guest today.
Our next guest. I'm good. I had a good weekend, a busy weekend. Yeah, tired, but hopefully we'll feel rested today. You said today is your day of rest and relaxation. I think today is also going to be my day of rest and relaxation, kind of get ready for the week. But the Boston Marathon is tomorrow, the rescheduled one. We got one in October. I think this is the first one in October. I don't know the history of it, but that's
They're
exciting.
allowed to scare you at this one. No.
Then I'm not going. Not that I'm running, but I'm not viewing.
I'm kidding.
That would be terrible. Oh my gosh. Imagine these people who were training for a marathon and then all of a sudden just like detoured by these people who are just like jumping out and trying to scare them.
That would,
I don't know.
that would be interesting.
I feel
it's
like
an idea for us to kick around.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the marathon has had a history of safety issues, so maybe let's just let the people run.
Yeah, true. Let the people run. Yeah, it's still really sad to walk by, for me at least, because I don't go to the marathon, so I really associate it with the marathon bombing, and it's just really sad and eerie to walk by the finish line for me every year. But I'm not gonna bring the
More trauma.
Yeah, I don't want to bring the mood down, but
It is fun to see people around this time of year, or not this time of year, I guess, but around marathon season, to just see people from all over the country and the world. I would assume more domestic this year because COVID is still a thing, but kind of just walking the city in the blue and yellow jackets, and it is kind of chaotic, but it is cool to see everybody there.
Yeah,
Brings the city together.
that is cool. Did you do anything? Do you have any like interesting highlights of the week? Anything?
I went to a concert on Friday. Um, it was a
Oh,
it was a Christian rock concert, Need to Breathe, and it was at they call it Leader Bank Pavilion, but it was in the seaport in the city in Boston, and I really
oh,
like
cool.
that. I really like that venue. It's just
Yeah,
right on the water. It's basically a more permanent tent, but I just really like that venue. That was a lot of fun.
yeah.
In
I
terms of
too need to breathe.
production value, I think that was one of the best concerts I've been to in terms of production. Just the visuals
Wow.
they had and the way they did the lights, and I don't know, everything was just really cool. It was simple, but it was really well done. So that was
I'm
fun.
sad I didn't see this. It sounded really fun.
Yeah. What about you?
Okay.
Well, I guess you did Screamfest, but anything?
Yes, that was
Are
my.
you doing well presently?
Yeah, I am. I had a really great week mentally. I've been working on self compassion. We can talk about that in future episodes because I want to bring our guest on. So, is it time? Do you have anything else to say about your week? I don't want to cut you off.
No, I live a exceedingly boring life.
Okay.
Hit us with that hot intro, Nick. Nick,
Yeah, I was gonna say
your first
usually
hot
you do this.
intro of the podcast.
This is my first.
No pressure.
I say hard intro, but apparently it's hot now, which is I'm fine with it. Let's roll with it. So, our guest today, he is a Marvel and DC connoisseur, a walking, in my opinion, Star Wars encyclopedia, an avid Funko Pop collector. He was very well known on Loyola's campus, if you went there. And he's also a very good friend of mine. So, without further ado, please welcome to the show, King Nick Staker.
Hello there.
How are
Welcome,
you?
Nick.
Good. And notice I quoted my favorite Jedi Master of all times, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
See, this is why you're the encyclopedia and not me, because I did not know that.
That's like Obi-Wan's most famous quote. How can you not know that?
I see this again. This is why you are the.
And you told me you love the prequels.
I do. My favorite. So I'm not a huge like Star Wars person, as you know, but like the prequels for me are the best, and I really, really like the Lego Star Wars prequel. I'm not even kidding. Like I think it's so fun.
Star Wars what?
Yeah, and it's fun to cut C-3PO in half.
Lego Star Wars? There was no Lego Star Wars movie, was there, Justin?
No, I'm talking about the game. I'm talking about the game.
Oh.
I like cutting him in half. C-3PO.
Like the Wii game?
I think I had it for the DS, or not the DS.
Yeah.
Sorry, well, I had it for the DS too, but I had it for the GameCube.
Gotcha.
I'm old.
Good to know.
Yes, isn't Nick, you would know more about this than me. When is the full saga coming out for the
The
Switch?
full saga. So for Justin, Justin, do you need video games? I don't know.
I'm a more casual person, so
Okay.
you would know more than I would.
All right. So Lego is releasing the full Skywalker saga, episodes 1 through 9, on the Switch and the PS4. So I bought the one for PS4, bought the one for Switch for Nick. It was supposed to come out. It was supposed to
Okay,
come
a
out
year ago.
It was supposed to come out this year. It got delayed and delayed until spring of next year.
Gotcha.
But that's how I love my Star Wars Lego.
Yeah.
You're
Put together in little pieces.
It's funny, you mentioned Funko Pop. I have one Funko Pop. I'm trying to get a Shang-Chi Funko Pop right now, but I have this is not Marvel or anything, but I have you can't even see it, King Ezekiel from The Walking Dead is my
Oh
little
my god.
Funko Pop character.
I have a few.
Do you?
I will ask Nick about his Funko Pops in a second because
that's actually a very good question, Nick. I was just gonna ask you a question. Is there a flip screen on here?
a flip screen so you can show.
Yeah.
I don't believe so. I don't believe
Darn
you
it.
can.
Yeah. So
But
I was gonna show Justin, but Justin, don't faint, okay? I'm gonna tell him right now that I have over 300 pops.
Oh wow.
I'm not even joking.
There goes my question for later.
Do you have a separate room for them, or is it just like a shelf?
So I really wanted to show you, but they're actually right next to me on this side, all right next to me over here.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Actually, let's see if I can move my computer and show you. Hold on.
That works.
Yeah, that actually works. Hold on. Let me show Justin. See this?
Oh wow.
Yep.
That's awesome. And they're all on the same they're all in the packaging too.
Yeah, and they're all in the packaging. This is actually not the whole thing. I have a couple more of these in boxes down in the basement.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not 300. I've seen all of yours.
No, that's not 300. Yeah, you've seen them all. I just because you do regular FaceTime with me, so that's easier when I am viewing Funko Pops. And I have to agree with Justin on something. I don't like the Mac Mouse, Justin. I'm with you on that one.
Yes. Yes.
Even though I have a Mac, I hate the Mac Mouse. I have to use an external PC mouse.
This is too good. Nick, do you have a favorite Funko Pop? I was going to talk about this later, but do you have a favorite Funko Pop now that we're talking about them?
Shoot. This is a very hard one, but I think I do. And
okay.
He's actually, believe it or not, I can show him to you. He's right here, right above me. Heath Ledger's Joker.
That's a great character. Apparently he did it.
Yep. The best Joker.
I got him. Yeah, they were selling him when the Joker movie was out, and I bought one because I like Heath Ledger.
Wait, they were selling him when the Heath Ledger version was out?
No, when the Joker movie left, the one that came out before COVID hit.
Yes.
I didn't like that one, but they were selling him outside before I went to see the movie, and I was like, I'll buy it.
Cool. I liked that one. I mean, it's not like canon for the DCEU, but or maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe they'll connect it. But I liked, just being someone who likes psychology, I really liked kind of the story of his descent into what we know as the Joker. Like, I liked exploring that story.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting, but the thing that took me away from it is they kind of messed up Bruce Wayne's story in that movie. I don't know why. Because Joker never met Bruce Wayne as a kid in the comics or movies or whatever. I mean, again, this could be a what if, you know?
Right.
You know?
Well, in the movie, if I remember correctly, because it's been, I think I watched it in like fall 2019.
2019, same year.
Arthur meets, what's his name? Bruce Wayne's dad in it.
Yeah.
Does he meet young Bruce Wayne in it?
Yes, he does meet. There is a scene he meets young Bruce Wayne. I think they're at the gate of Wayne Manor, if memory serves me right. And he was like,
Oh,
and I think he was like doing tricks with his mouth or something in front of Bruce Wayne. And then
yes.
Alfred came and stopped him, and that was kind of like a quick cameo. I just didn't like it because like they said the Joker was supposed to be the son of Thomas Wayne or something like that. I don't remember.
Right. Supposedly he is the son of Thomas Wayne. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I was like, that just messed up the whole Batman that I know and love. You know what I mean?
Right. I was going to ask Nick Staker. I've never met you in person before, but I know that you're really good friends with Nick Gervasi. How
Hi.
did you guys meet? How do you know each other?
So I met this crazy goofball. I met him. I met him last year, right before everything went completely sideways. Okay. I met him in February in 2019. What happened was I was hanging out with Chappie at Belvedere, and then
Chappie's one of our friends, also graduated
yeah,
from Loyola class of
um,
2019.
and he's one of my really good friends. So I was hanging out with him. And remember, I went to the bathroom, and then I came back, and I think Chappie was talking with Nick, and then Chaplin was like, "Oh, Nick, meet Nick." Then that's what started it, and then we exchanged contacts and did the whole 9 yards. Guess what happened that night? This is funny. So I was watching SpongeBob, all right, and so I used to send on Snapchats all the time of what I'm watching every night, all right, and now I post on Instagram of what I'm watching. This goofball down below, all right,
Hi.
he starts commenting on SpongeBob, and we're just talking like there's and that's how we became friends.
This is true. And it was February 2020. It was right before the pandemic.
Right before the
Yeah.
pandemic. Yeah.
hmm
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Nick, do
we
you
started
approve of?
FaceTiming. What?
I was going to say, Nick, do you approve of this telling of the story? Because I know
Yes,
I love hearing two different people's perspectives of how they met.
yes. So that is how it happened. It was just kind of chance that like we were at Belvedere and we ran into each other, but it was really nothing more than that. I follow people on Instagram and I swipe up and like on social, like I will swipe up on your story. I said this last time. If I relate to it in some way, like I will comment. I think it's cool when people are like just kind like that. And like talking, it's like not like like I don't know, because like obviously if you don't know someone, that's weird to like message them and like, but if you like know, if you follow each other and you know each other, like I will be friendly. So I swiped up because we were talking about, or he was watching SpongeBob. I was like, yes, this is an iconic episode. And then we started FaceTiming once a week during the pandemic, because this was back when I was living in I was living in Florida actually with my two friends, Rachel and Elizabeth. We were all quarantined together. Um, and Nick and I started FaceTiming once a week, and then it transitioned into playing games on FaceTime. So like we have Monopoly, which has since expanded to include Chappie and also our friend Santino, who, shout out, Santino is also a listener of this, and sometimes our friend Tom, who I mentioned earlier, who Nick also knows. Um, and we also play Among Us together. We alternate. We don't do these all. And we used to play. What else do we do, Nick?
We used to do floppy golf, but the app was so buggy, and we just said forget it. Oh,
Yes.
by the way, Justin, before I forget, you are so more than welcome on a Friday evening to join Nick and I in our group Monopoly. If
Also
Santino or
Santino and Tom.
Chappie bails out. All right.
Oh, Chappie! Did I not say Chappie plays too? Chappie plays too.
You
I
said
thought you
Chappie.
did. Yeah, you did.
Okay, good. He's
Yeah.
won 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Do I have to have an iPhone though? Because I have an Android. If you've caught up. So
No, because our friend Nick, doesn't our friend Santino have an Android and he plays Monopoly with us?
He does, in fact.
Yeah. We just have to make sure Monopoly works because lately we were having technical difficulties.
Yes.
we stand
Speaking.
Santino having an Android. Anyway, go ahead, Nick.
No, I was just gonna say, what was I just gonna say? Oh, we were talking about SpongeBob for a minute. I know that all three of us like SpongeBob, and we've talked about SpongeBob. I think we talked a little bit about the lad last episode.
Oh,
Did we
that's a
not?
classic.
The
Ad?
one where he. Oh yeah, because I did the Patrick expression. I was just calling SpongeBob the lad. I thought it was
That
like
was 2
SpongeBob.
episodes ago.
It was 2 episodes ago. H. My bad. Do you guys have a favorite episode?
Do I have a favorite episode? That's really hard, and it's been a while since I've watched the episodes. I think my favorite one is the Jellyfish Jam one.
Is that the one that he makes the patties with jelly, or is it the one that he's like dancing with jelly?
The dancing.
Do do do
Yeah.
do do
Yeah.
do do
Yeah,
do
that
do
song.
do 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 do
Yes.
do.
Only that wasn't copyrighted because "do" is in our title. That would have been perfect. Do 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 do.
Oh
Anyways.
yeah, I was not humming the right one. I was
Oh.
humming. I was humming. You ready for this?
Yeah, that's the same. That's the song, isn't it?
Is it the same? I thought it was slightly different.
It's
I
the
don't
one
know.
where it's the one where all the jellyfish go into his house and they start having parties and SpongeBob's all like upset.
I know the episode, but I think the song in that episode is different from Are You Ready for This? Which is like a song that's by I don't know.
So I'm learning this for the first time that they might be separate songs.
I think
always
they're
thought they were
different.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure they're different.
Well,
But-
right now you're asking a person who has no idea of music. So
Justin, do you have a favorite episode?
My favorite is definitely Doodle Bob. I just think there's so many good lines in that episode, and just my favorite is just Finland. Like,
I was just gonna say Finland. Finland.
It's literally just so
Question.
random and yet so funny.
which season is that on?
I have no idea.
Good
I don't know the
question.
seasons.
It's the one where he draws a version of himself, and he's
Oh yeah, I've
an
seen that.
anti-SpongeBob.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
Yes. I will say, did you guys know this? There's a new Doodle Bob episode. I haven't seen it. But it's in it's like one of the newest seasons, and I haven't seen many of the new SpongeBob episodes because I just don't think they're as good. We've talked about this. But there's a new Doodle Bob episode. There's also a new Bubble Buddy episode. So that's cool. But did either of you know that?
No, because as you
No.
know, Nick, I think I'm currently on. I think it's season 9 of SpongeBob.
Yeah, I think I did know that. Wow, you're further ahead than I thought. I have another question for both of you. Oh, I guess I'll say my favorite episode first. My favorite episode, weirdly enough, is Pretty Patties. I just loved that one, and it was never on.
Oh, another classic.
Yeah, because they just looked so good. And who doesn't love rubbing two pickles together? Wait, H.
I thought that was the episode where he mixed jelly in the patties. No?
They do that too. That one was a good
That's a
episode.
different episode.
That was the jellyfish.
Okay, I thought they were
jelly
the
one.
same episode.
Yeah. I'm talking about the one with all the different colorful Krabby Patties. It's like, we want our money back.
Yep, I know this one you're talking about. Yep, I've seen that one.
Hash
We rub two pickles
slinging,
together at the end.
mash bringing, hash dinging. Sorry. It's
Wow.
spooky season. I feel like that's
Yeah.
the spooky season episode.
Nosferatu.
Yeah, that's so random.
That is so random. I have one more question for you guys about SpongeBob, and then we can move on through our chaotic spewing of bullshit that we do. So many.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Could be totally making this up, but I see so many similarities. That the SpongeBob movie, the first SpongeBob movie where they go to Shell City, has so many that I think it was based on it. So many references to the Odyssey. Like, so think about it. The king, so like, I know Poseidon isn't like the king, but Poseidon is mad at Odysseus in the Odyssey. The king is mad at Mr. Krabs, which means SpongeBob has to go on this long journey. He uses a bag of winds to get home, which is also in the Odyssey. He has just like who helps Odysseus along the way? It's what goddess?
Was it the daughter?
Well, in yes. So what? Who's the goddess of wisdom in Greek mythology? Because she helps Odysseus, just like Mindy helped SpongeBob
Yeah, it
get.
was Mindy. I don't know. I'm not a mythology
Athena,
person.
isn't it Athena?
Athena. There, I'm
Yes, so
saying it's
Athena
Athena.
helps Odysseus, just like Mindy, who is the daughter. Because I think, yeah, Mindy helps. She's the daughter of the king. Helps SpongeBob and Patrick get. There are just so many. A lot of them are slipping my brain right now, but so many. Oh, the Cyclops in the Odyssey. They call the Cyclops, I think, Bigger Boot in the movie because it's like he steps on Dennis. But the Cyclops he's not actually a Cyclops, he's a diver, but he has one eye, so they call him a Cyclops. There are just so many references to the Odyssey that I think it's based off of the Odyssey. It's a kid's version of the Odyssey, but when you look it up, you can't find many like anybody else putting this together. And I'm like, how are people not recognizing this?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I now that you're saying that, I believe it. Who's Dennis? Do you mean David Hasselhoff?
No, Dennis was the one with the mustache with the cowboy hat.
Oh, Dennis is the actual guy.
Oh, was he like the bounty hunter thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the bounty hunter. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. What about there are so many classic like did you see my underwear? No, Patrick. You want to?
Yeah.
Like it's just too good. Also the meme when their car gets like thrown off the side. Too good.
In the cheeseburger car?
Yeah, the paddy wagon. Yeah.
The paddy
Um,
wagon.
what about when they're dancing with like all the different sea monsters and they're like, "Go, Pat," and he's like, "Uh-huh," and he's like slapping himself, "Uh-huh," like classic. And Nick, you could probably agree because we said this. We watched the third movie together. Not good.
Oh, the third movie. Don't remind me that movie. Don't even let me think that movie.
It was bad.
It was so terrible. Justin, I'm telling you, don't watch the third movie.
I saw the first one and I'm not gonna watch any of the other ones because I think the first one is a classic.
The second one's okay. It's not great.
Actually, as I was telling Nick, the only thing I liked about the second one was there's in the end they turn the heroes into like Avengers.
Yes.
Mm.
The references to the Avenger movies.
Yeah.
I want to because I also mentioned that you are a massive Pixar fan. As I wouldn't consider myself like a massive Pixar fan, but I love Pixar. Who does? If you don't like Pixar, what are you doing with your life?
Exactly. What are you doing? Pixar has produced so many great films, and honestly, it was even hard for me to even decide what are my favorites.
Yes. So when you came onto this episode, we asked you to name your top 10 and rank them, and don't tell us yet. So.
And we all did this.
Yes, we all did that.
Okay.
So I created a game. Apparently, it's very confusing, and I'm learning this now. But basically, we're each gonna say our number 10 first. So I'll say mine. Justin will say his. Nick will say his.
King of Confusion.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Was actually really funny. So we're each gonna say it. If two of us name the same one, then that's gonna be the official 10th place. If we all say different ones, our producer will get to pick which one's going to be 10th. If your number 7 gets 10th, then you can't use it when it comes to number 7. So we are going to make the official Point of View top 10 Pixar movie list. And we're affectionately calling this name Pix of Do. Get it? I'm kind of a comedic genius. Does anybody have any questions about this game? Because that was probably the best I've explained it, and it's still very confusing, I'm aware.
I'm going to attempt to do my best at this so you guys can help me along if I make a mistake.
Perfect. This is why I'm not a teacher.
If majority, like say Nick Gervasi, you and I have like Monsters Inc. as 10 and Nick Staker has something else, does majority rule? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, majority rule. Okay, so Nick, you're our guest, so I'll say, what is your number 10?
So you want me to tell you my number 10?
Yes, you can say it.
Okay. So my 10th choice of my top 10 Pixar films, I put Cars.
Okay.
I also put Cars.
Wow, you guys are doing me dirty. I loved Cars. I thought it was so cute. I love Mater.
I feel like if we went 1 to 10, I'd be able to explain why each one is like progressively lower, progressively higher. But
I mean, you'll be able to do that with 9. You'll be like, okay, this is a little bit better than this because.
right. But I put Cars for that as well. All right, so the game I guess is not as confusing. If it works
No.
out like this, we'll be able to
Yeah,
get through
yeah,
this.
no, this is good. I just want to say I really liked Cars because the cars were so squeaky clean looking, and other than Megan, and this is really fruity, but I loved Sally's color. That blue, that like baby blue, but it had like the sheen.
I love that car.
She also had a tramp stamp, which was really funny. Did anybody catch that?
Yes, I caught that. Yeah.
That was funny.
Nick, you didn't like Doc Hudson? What?
I didn't. I wasn't a huge Doc Hudson fan. I do really, really love the hippie trailer, the Volkswagen RV. Also, again, his seafoam green color is everything. Anyway, so I said Toy Story 3. Should we move on to number 9? Does anybody have any questions?
No. I'll just tell you right now, don't watch the car sequels. They're not that good.
Okay.
I heard 3 was better than 2.
3 was better than 2. If you have to watch 1, watch 3. Do yourself a favor. Don't watch 2. 2 stinks.
They made it a spy series for some reason.
They didn't a spy, and also they tried to do Star Wars and cars that didn't mix. No.
Yeah, because there was like space parts. I didn't see it. I haven't seen the sequels.
Watch 3, but not 2. Yeah.
I've heard 3 is good.
3 is good. 3 is worth it. Yeah.
Number 9. Let's reverse the order. Justin, what's number 9?
Well, you should go because you were last.
Let's reverse the order. Nick, what's number 9? I said Ratatouille.
I said Ratatouille.
Ooh.
I did too.
No way. This is perfect. God, I'm loving this. Why? Why do you guys like Ratatouille, or why did you put it at number 9?
That's just such a unique movie. Like, I don't know, a movie about a rat that can cook? Come on, who doesn't love that?
Right? Yes, he does the cooking.
Yeah.
Yes, he does the cleaning.
I put Ratatouille there because there are other movies that there are aspects of them that I like more. Like I like the storylines more, the music more, but I like the moral of the story of Ratatouille and just kind of teamwork, and it's a feel good. Actually, moral of the story, it's hard. I guess it's like underdog story for sure, but I liked it made me feel good at the end, and any movie that makes me feel good at the end should rank in my top 10.
I'm not gonna lie, I put it there because I saw it in theaters. I don't remember honestly what a lot of what it was about. I know he pulled hair. The guy Ratatouille, or the Remy pulls the guy's hair so they can work together because he's not very good at the restaurant. But Remy is, but the chef isn't.
Did you hear about Ratatouille, the TikTok musical?
I did. I also love the meme that's like, it's like a very weird looking rat, and he's holding a gun and he says,
"What?
I'm afraid I've ratted my last tattooey." I've sent it to you before. It's the weirdest meme, but it's really funny.
Oh my gosh.
So we mentioned Ratatouille. Hey Nick, you sure at your restaurant you don't have a rat cooking?
I shouldn't answer that question for legal reasons, but I will say that it made me hungry and I love a good restaurant. So let's move on to number 8. Should we reverse the order again? Justin, that means you always get to go in the middle. How do you feel about that?
That's fine. I like being in the middle. A solid middle.
All right, Nick Staker, what do you have as number 8?
Number 8. I put Finding Nemo.
Okay.
I did Wall-E.
Okay. I said Inside Out, which means we send this to, well, let's make our cases first. Nick, why did you put Finding Nemo at number 8? My heart.
I put Finding Nemo at number 8 because I'm not a huge fan of Wall-E, and I just wasn't a fan of Inside Out, but they're enjoyable. I just really love Finding Nemo. I think I love the relationship with Marlin and Dory and how they have to go find Nemo, and I just thought that was really cool, and it's just a classic.
It is a classic, and you broke my heart by putting it at number 8. No, I'm kidding.
Me too. Finding Nemo for me ranked higher.
Yeah,
I really wanted to rank. I wanted it to rank higher, but there was just other things that ranked higher before it for me.
Totally fair. I put Inside Out because I thought it was a really cute movie, but it's like not a classic for me because I was like old enough for that. I was in high school when it came out, so like it wasn't like something I grew up with, but I liked it. There were some plot holes I thought, and I didn't like that. But Justin, why did you put I forget what you put, to be honest. What did you put?
Wall-E is Wally is a cute robot, and it reminds me of my future. No, I don't know. I looked at a list of all the Pixar movies, and then I put in the top 10 the ones where I could like remember scenes and I could quote things from, and I couldn't necessarily quote Wally, but I could remember different scenes, and I think it had a good moral message about be good to Mother Nature, but
Yes.
it wasn't. I didn't rank it higher because I don't think it's as much of a classic as other ones.
Okay. Fair.
So
So Dan, send in the chat what deserves out of those three to be number 8. Wally gets number 8. Okay.
yes,
Wally officially gets number 8.
I am at the feet.
And Dan, I really appreciate that you wrote in all caps Wall and then did the dot and then the capital E, just like the movie. So I appreciate that. Do I start with number 7?
yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Go for it.
My number 7 is Finding Dory. I love the franchise. It wasn't like a classic for me just because it's, again, it came out while we were in high school. I didn't get the same like, oh, I'm in this universe from Finding Dory that I did from Finding Nemo. Like I really felt like submerged in Finding Nemo, and I saw it a bunch of times, but Finding Dory, it was a cute movie. It made me really sad. The video, like in the trailer, she's like, "Can you help me find my mom, like in my family?" And she's like a little Dory. That was heartbreaking, but yeah, that's why I said Finding Dory. What about you, Justin? What did you say?
I did Monsters Inc.
Okay. Why did you do Monsters Inc?
I don't really have a reason. I just did Monsters Inc. as number 7.
Totally fair. Nick, of the steak
So
over
this
right.
is so this is a strange one. I put
Okay.
up Bug's Life. I don't know why. That movie, I guess because I grew up with this as a kid, and I used to play the Bugs Life video game all day long on the computer way back in the day.
Hmm.
So that's why I did that.
Fair. I don't like bugs.
I feel like Bug's Life is one of those forgotten Pixar
Yeah, it was
movies.
one of the early. Wasn't it like the second one that they've done? I
It
think
was
Toy
the
Story
second
was
one
the first.
after Toy Story.
Yeah, so Toy Story and then Bug's Life. So again, we go to our producer, Dan. What deserves to be number 7? I'm gonna post our answers, by the way, like later in the week after this is published. We'll give it some time for people to actually listen, but
We're not going to spoil it right away.
no, we want our views. A Bug's Life.
Bug's
Interesting.
Life.
Oh.
Okay.
Yay!
So number 7 is A Bug's Life. All right, and we move to number 6. I think Nick, do you start this one?
I will start this one, and I really wanted this one to be higher on my list, but again, there was other ones that came before it, and if knowing me, you would think this is higher. Incredibles.
The Incredibles. Okay. Why did you
Yeah.
say The Incredibles for number 6?
Well, I think you might know the reason, but I will say it because I'm a huge superhero fanatic, and that
So why is it
movie,
so low? I'm kind of surprised. You're right.
and that movie to me is just all me. All right. I mean, you know, of course I hated number 2. I don't know why I just hated that one. But I love the first one. I feel like I can even relate to Mr. Incredible in a certain way.
I'm surprised it's so low.
Me too.
I know.
I agree with you
was-
about number 2, though. They tried to do too much with it. Like it was very long, and it was also like they added that plot twist. There was like, oh, that was the bad guy all along. I don't know. I didn't love it.
Yeah, it was just like the second one was like the only thing worth it was watching Edna babysit Jack Jack and seeing Jack Jack get powers. Other than
Yes,
that, it's
and
like
beat up.
the rest. Yeah, other than that, the rest of it was stupid.
I liked the henchman. I love guys. The Incredibles video game is one for the books. Like I'm not kidding. It's incredible. I didn't mean to do that.
No pun intended.
Yeah, I didn't mean
Yeah,
to do
which
that. But
one?
those,
Which Incredibles
it's just
game?
I think it's just the Incredibles video game. I think that's what it's called. The original.
I have that somewhere on my computer. Actually, I was gonna tell you guys. I don't know if you guys know they have the Lego Incredibles on the Switch and PS4.
I did not know that, but that's something I will get on. Justin, what do you have?
Mine doesn't count, but I did Bug's Life for 6.
Okay. And I had Toy Story for number 6, the original Toy Story. So, which means between Toy Story and because I liked it, it's a classic movie, but not, you know, it's not my favorite out of the franchise. So, Dan, between Toy Story and The Incredibles, which one deserves the number 6 spot? Toy Story gets number
Toy
6.
Story.
That might be an upset later on, but we will see. All right, so then which means we go back to me for number 5, right? I have mine doesn't count because I have Cars as number 5. Like I said, I love the different cars in the movie. Like I love the RV. I love Sally. Mater's really funny. I think the tractor tipping is hysterical instead of cow tipping, which I didn't know was I didn't know people tipped cows, but I learned that through the tractor tipping thing. I also, it's so satisfying the new road that Radiator Springs gets when he paves it
Yes.
with old Bessie.
Yep.
Yeah, just I really liked it, but it doesn't count for me. So, Justin, what do you have for number 5?
I have Toy Story 2 because I love the Woody getting a facelift
Oh,
scene.
yeah.
Or
So satisfying.
a makeover. I love
Yes.
that scene. And that also that dude who does the makeover looks like a professor I had at Loyola, which is actually really funny. I'm not gonna say the name, but
funny.
I also like how that's the one where they fight Zurg, isn't it?
Yes, Zurg was. I love Zurg.
So I like that one too.
I love Zurg because he was kind of a. I don't know if this was intentional. I think he was kind of a ripoff. I think it was kind of a ripoff of Darth Vader.
But I mean, they're both Disney, right? So I think that was probably
okay. Well, back in the day,
I don't think Star Wars was owned by Disney at the time.
it was still Fox. I
think it was more of like a reference, like an homage. But
well, it was Lucasfilm.
Yeah, Lucasfilm.
Okay.
It was just Lucasfilm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I forget where we go for. So Justin, have you said your number 5 yet? No, you haven't.
Yes, I said Toy Story 2. That's what we were just talking about.
Oh, so you just said it. Okay, so Nick, what is yours?
Mine, believe it or not, is Monsters University.
Okay. Why? I'm curious.
Take.
That is a hot take.
Because I feel like I could relate to that one because of the college experience. You know what I mean? We've all been there and done the things they did in that movie, and I just really loved, like, it showed you how Mike Wazowski and the blue guy met. I'm calling the blue
Sully.
Sully, yeah, how Sully met, and I've always wanted to know that, and it even showed you why Randall hates the two of them when they get to work.
Right. I also just Roz, iconic character.
Oh yeah.
You didn't file your paperwork last night. I don't do a good Roz, but
I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
That was great.
That was really good.
That was really good.
Yeah.
So we throw it to Dan. Toy Story 2.
We throw it to Dan again.
Toy Story 2 or Monsters University.
Yes. What deserves a number 5 spot? There's, in my opinion, a clear answer here. For which one?
I think I know which one he's gonna pick, but I'm not gonna say.
I don't know. You never know how Dan thinks. You never know.
That is true.
I could be wrong.
Oh, okay. Monsters University.
He made the right decision because I think Toy Story 2 deserves to be higher.
Yeah, I was just gonna tell Justin I listen to every episode literally right when it comes out.
We love that. Appreciate you.
Which means we're down to our top 4. So I think Nick, you go first on this one.
I will go to first. This one I said Monsters Inc.
Okay. Classic.
I have Up.
You said Up. I said let's throw it to Dan because I said The Incredibles, which I can't put. Oh no, I can because it didn't place yet. I can say that.
Yes, so we throw it to Dan because it's what do we have? Monsters Inc., Up, and The Incredibles.
Yes.
So I'll go.
Okay.
I chose Up because I think in the end it's a feel-good movie. It brings me through my roller coaster of emotions. It's a classic Disney movie, and the fact that someone dies in the first 10 minutes
Yes, I was gonna say that always
Literally,
happens.
always happens. I think the music is great. I think it's further down. It's not higher up because I think it's a little bit of a after the initial impact of oh my gosh, spoiler alert. It's a little bit of a slow start, but I think once it gets going, it gets going like pretty good, pretty well, and it's an adventure, and it's a you can teach an old dog new tricks type of thing, and so
Yeah.
and I just like the fact that you can make a house fly with many balloons.
It's true.
And it's a tearjerker.
Oh, for sure.
Right, like I said, roller coaster of emotions type of movie.
Yeah. Nick, what would you say? What's your case?
So my case for Monsters Inc. is because first of all, I love Mike and Sully. All right. Those two characters are hilarious in that film. Second reason, I love that little girl. I love Boo.
Boo.
I love Boo. I don't know why. I just love her. I mean, she is so adorable, cute, funny. And I love the abominable. What's the dude in all white?
The Abominable Snowman.
Abominable Snowman. Oh, love that.
Welcome to the Himalayas.
Yep. Even Water Noose was an iconic villain.
Yes.
And Randall was just as bad as ever. And I think the thing that made me like that movie most is when, in the end, when they go through all the doors, and they're in different worlds. And I just thought that was really unique from that movie.
Yeah, I agree. That was my favorite scene in the entire movie. It was the when they go through all the different doors and the different
I
worlds.
remember you were telling me that in one of our FaceTimes, believe it or not, if I was right.
That is true. I will say I said The Incredibles because we're getting up there in the top 4 for me are the movies for me. I just really I love the video game. You really play through the movie in the best way. I love the henchmen. I love the trope of Mr. Incredible in his prime, and then when he's the first trailer for The Incredibles is Mr. Incredible trying to put his belt on. I don't know if you guys knew that, but he's trying to put his belt on and he keeps getting it and then it pops open and he goes flying. So just a really great movie. I loved their outfits. Again, I'm exposing myself, but I actually like Mr. Incredible's old outfit better, the blue one, but that's okay. But yeah, so yeah.
Blue one is so iconic. Oh my god.
Yes. I mean, they both are.
Yeah, but the blue one makes him look like Captain America or something. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
This goes to Dan now. For which one?
I forgot which one he said.
He hasn't said yet.
You mean Justin? You said
Dan. Justin made the case for Up.
Okay.
Yeah, we're waiting for Dan.
We're waiting for
okay.
What gets number 4? At this point, I'm thinking of what deserves to be in the top 4 because there are some, you know what I mean, because there's a chance that this might not even make the, you know what I mean, because the big movies might not even make the top 4 if we beat it out, if that makes sense. If I have a wild card and there are 3 of us, I don't know where, you know what I mean? If I have a wild card, there are 3 of us and Dan thinks it should be number 1, then it's going to be number 1 and it's just, we're going to upset all of our listeners. But I don't know.
Up.
Yeah.
Up gets number 4. That's an upset if you ask me, but that's okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I think I'm number 3. I said Monsters Inc. I don't need to say why. We already talked about how much I why I like that movie, but I just think it is a top 3 contender for sure.
Did that make it in the list already?
No, Monsters University did.
Monster. I did The Incredibles there for number 3.
Okay.
Number 3, I did Toy Story 3. Should I say why?
Yes, because we haven't talked about Toy Story 3 yet.
So I put Toy Story 3 just because it's an iconic movie, in my opinion, because if you remember from the first 2 movies, the villains were human beings.
Yes.
But in this movie, the villains are toys, hence Toy Story, you know?
Wow. I didn't think of it that way. Okay. I was going to say that I forget what I was going to say. Oh, I was going to say I don't think it's very iconic for me, just because. But that is a very the part about the toys shifting from the humans being the villains to the toys. I think that's a very intelligent take on Toy Story 3. I just didn't think it was iconic because it came out in 2010, personally. But yeah. Number. Oh wait, no, I'm so sorry.
We're waiting for Dan. We're waiting for Dan.
Oh, yeah.
But I said The Incredibles because I like superhero movies. I liked that. I just liked that. I really enjoyed that movie. I like Edna Mode. I like the costumes. There's just so many different scenes that are very memorable from that movie, in my opinion.
Edna Mode.
And so I put it for number 3.
The Incredibles, you all.
I'm writing it down right now. All right, we're down to the top 2, which means Nick, you go first.
So number 2, I said Toy Story, the original.
Okay.
Do you want me to say why, or do we?
Yeah, I think that one deserves an explanation.
Should we say all of our things first, and then we'll?
Sure.
Yeah, let's say our own things first, and then we'll say why.
I have Coco.
Okay, that's a hot take.
Yeah.
I'm going to be embarrassing to say I have not seen that movie yet.
I've heard it's good. I have also not seen it.
Nick, say yours.
I was going to say I have Toy Story 2. I think it's the best Toy Story movie. The airplane scene's really cool. The vent scenes are really cool. Zurg is so cool. Did I mention that this movie's cool? I really liked everything about it. The Jessie part is so sad. I don't know why Pixar enjoys making kids happy and adults cry. Like, I don't understand, but I just really, really liked it. So much better than Al's Toy Barn. Like, how can you not like that? And the scene when they're under the cones. And Barbie, like, hello, that's like with her Corvette and Rex, is that his name? Rex.
Who? Rex,
Is
the
Rex
dinosaur.
is in that's the dinosaur that's in the car. It's just too good. And also the double buzzes and how they explore that, how like there are multiple versions of Buzz because he's a toy at the end of the day and he gets sold. I just think it's really cool. But I want to hear why you guys picked your number 2s.
Who wants to go first? Me or Justin?
I can go. I did Coco because that is one of my top Pixar movies in general, and hence why I made number 2. It's the music's great. It explores our individual culture, which I love exploring things from multicultural lenses. Like I said, the music was great. I think it's a good family film. It explores Dia de los Muertos and the land of the dead and land of the living, and it explores a lot of different themes that I think, I don't know. For me, it just ranks number 2. If it doesn't on our official list, I might riot. But Nick Staker, if you haven't seen it, I highly, highly recommend it. View it tonight if you can.
I probably will.
It's a good one.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you the 3 Pixar movies I have not seen are Coco, what was it? Onward, and the
Luca?
newest one that just came, Luca. Yeah.
Luca. I've heard Luca's great. I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's really, really good.
Yeah. Those are the 3 I need to catch up on.
Why did you pick your number 2?
So my number 2 is because I adore Woody and Buzz. They've been my favorites since childhood. All right. I mean, I even just sent Nick a couple days ago a photo of all my Toy Story figures.
I have a question. Was what was your number 2 pick?
Toy Story, the original.
Oh, okay. So we got Toy Story 2 versus Toy Story versus Coco. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with the classic for sure, but I just think that was one of the few sequels that they did a better job on the second one than the first. But
yeah,
I guess we throw it to Dan now before we reveal our number 1 slot.
And he says Coco.
Yes.
Wow. The upset, in my opinion, of the century. That is, I'm sure it's a great movie.
Have you seen Coco?
No, I got it.
You haven't seen Coco either? Oh my
God. I know,
God.
but like we just really knocked off.
Justin, neither of the Knicks have seen Coco.
Oh my god!
Wow.
I'm all right. Homework.
I'll
You
watch it.
both have to see Coco, and you have to report back to me what you think, and if you think it's a top 2.
Okay. Number 1. So do you think, Justin, I think you should go first because you've been in the middle this whole time.
Okay. Should I say it and explain? No, I'll just say it. Finding Nemo.
Okay. Why did you say that?
We're gonna explain. Okay. I said Finding Nemo because I think in the end it's a lovely father-son, like story about a father's love for a son and a son's love for their father. I think the music is fantastic. I listen to the soundtrack while I'm doing homework and just doing work in general. I think the animation is great. The different characters and the way they explored the ocean was really, really cool. I've liked the adventure story, and I think I don't know if this was their intention, but I think they explore themes around mental health or disability in general, because I think Dory has the really bad memory. And I think at times Marlon and other people get very, very frustrated with her. And sometimes people make fun of her, which I think is a very real way of how sometimes people interact with others who maybe have a disability or may have mental health issues that they battle with. And I just think but in the end, they love being together and they enjoy someone's company. And when Dory leaves, Marlon really misses her and wants to, go and find her. And I don't know. I just think overall, it's a just superb, stellar Pixar movie. My top number 1.
Yeah, for sure. Nick, what's yours?
So my top number 1, I think you'll be happy to hear this, is Toy Story 2. Do you want me to say my reasons, or do you
Yeah,
want...
definitely.
Okay, so my reasons are mostly what you said before, because of the airplane, the airport scene, Al's toy barn, the Barbie, and all that. My main reason for that is I liked how you found out about Woody's background, because you really don't know where he came from or when he was brought about in the first movie, and then you go in the second movie, you find out he came from this show, which was really interesting, which was a really old show.
That was cool.
Yeah, I really thought that was cool. I love both buzzes, like you said. I thought that was cool. I think what I really liked, though, is in the do either of you remember the very beginning of the movie when
Yes.
Lex and Buzz they're playing the video game? I thought that was very Star Warsy and very cool, and I don't know if some of you guys know this. Some of the sounds when they were playing the video game were from Star Wars.
I didn't know. Oh yeah, no, I can hear that now.
Like when Buzz was touching like the battery, that battery.
Yeah.
It was making the lightsaber sound.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. All right. Yeah. So my number 1 is we're closing things off the way we started them, because my number 1 is Cars 2. I'm kidding. It's not. But we are closing them. I'm closing them off the way we started because we agreed at the beginning, and my number 1 is Finding Nemo, which means that Finding Nemo is Point of View's favorite Pixar movie officially, and I'll say why.
The two hosts of Point of View.
Yeah, we both really like it.
Number 1.
And I agreed with his number 2 was my number, or no, Nick's number 1 was my number 2. So we can all agree Toy Story is also, Toy Story 2 is great. But I want to just say, so the reason I liked it so much, first of all, I was obsessed with the movie as a kid. I'm not kidding. I saw that movie in theaters more than 8 times.
Finding Nemo.
Yes, and I'm talking in theaters. So like this is in the span of 2 months, maybe. I have so many memories aside from loving the movie. I went to it with my Nana a bunch, who I mentioned I was very close with, who's since passed away, but I saw it with her a bunch. I used to have guys night out with my dad, so like I'd go with him to work. I'd dress up. He's a Stop and Shop pharmacist, so he has to dress in like business clothes and then the lab coat. I used to wear business clothes, but I'd wear his tie because I wanted to look like him. And then So I'd go in when he'd have like a half day, like Sundays used to be half days. And then I'd sit, this was back when it was allowed. This is not a thing that's allowed anymore. I'd sit behind the desk and color. I also used to color for the Dunkin' Donuts girls that were next door. They had a Dunkin' Donuts back then, and I used to color for them. And then we'd go see Finding Nemo. But their toys from McDonald's were everything. They were bath toys, and I wanted all of them. I only ever got the ones I didn't want. I never got Dory, and I never got Bruce, even though I wanted to. But they used to spray water. And I also had all the stuffed animals from the Disney store from the Finding Nemo movie. So all around great movie. Also, if anybody believes in karma, I don't know if I necessarily do or not, but the barracuda that eats coral in the beginning of Finding Nemo is in fact stuffed and hung on the wall in Toy Story 4 at the antique store. So I don't know if anybody knew that, but
Interesting.
The writers confirmed that barracuda is in fact, it's in the background. They never address it, but they said that was the barracuda that ate.
And I want to interject this. I don't know if any of you know. You guys know the Pizza Planet truck?
Yes.
Did any of you know it's in every Pixar film?
I did.
I did not.
know. And I think the ball too.
I saw that somewhere. I saw that on Twitter or something. Somebody said that somebody high up confirmed that the Pizza Planet truck is in all the Pixar films.
That is true. As is the voice of Ham.
Oh yes.
From Toy Story, and I believe the blue ball as well.
I don't
with
know.
The star. I think that's in I know it's in Monsters Inc. Does anybody have any final thoughts? I just want to start by saying I really enjoyed this episode. We covered so many different topics, but it was really fun.
I'm curious which ones, because I have two. So Toy Story 2 and Monsters Inc. are the ones that didn't make the list that were on mine. Which ones didn't make your list?
I had Toy Story 3 didn't make the list. Ratatouille did. Inside Out didn't make the list. Finding Dory didn't make the list. Did Monsters Inc. No, Monsters Inc. didn't, and Toy Story 2 didn't. Those were the upsets.
Those are the upsets, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want me to? Should we just read I'll quickly read the top 10. So we have Cars at number 10, Ratatouille at number 9, WALL-E at number 8, A Bug's Life at number 7, Toy Story at number 6, Monsters University at number 5, Up at number 4, The Incredibles at number 3, Coco at number 2, Finding Nemo at number 1. To be honest, I think we had a really good list.
I think it's good.
I think so too.
I think Toy Story 2 and Monsters Inc. definitely the upsets, but I think it's overall a good list.
Yes, and it was also by nature of the game that they were eliminated. That was what made it fun.
Right.
But yeah.
I will before we go, I want to stand corrected. I think the game worked well. Nick, I had my doubts, but I'm sorry. I think it worked really well. So bravo. Thank you for that game. That was a really great idea. Very creative. Thank you for that.
Thank you. And I also stand corrected because talking to you and Dan at the beginning, I was like, oh, this is going to suck. I did such a bad job planning this.
We did. Well, I feel like our confusion just made you feel bad about yourself. And that's not what we strive for on Point of View. So
I had my doubts too. I planned this in line at Canopy. So
well, like I said before, king of confusion. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Nick, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. Justin, do you want to take us home?
Sure. My name is Justin Dew.
And I'm Nick.
You can reach us on Instagram and Facebook at Point of DOO Podcast. That's at Point of View Podcast, all one word, or by sending us a voice message on our website, anchor.fm/Point of View. If you enjoy our show, give us a rating or review in the Apple Podcast Store, or even better, share us with a friend or family member. We really appreciate all of you and all of your support. And as always, we hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you for listening. And until next time,
let's all say it together.
H.
You're what makes you better.